What do you guys think New World is doing right? And does that line up with what Ashes has planned?
I'm gonna say something terrible.
No, that's
You ready?
go
You
for
ready?
it. Yes.
I'm locked in.
Combat. It's fucking great on New World. Like I'm sorry, I've been reading on Reddit, like people saying like, "Oh, combat sucks. It's like not meaty," and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? What game are you playing, dude? It's a great game." And well, I do have this battle on my mind of like whether Ashes would benefit from a combat like that. It's definitely not gonna be. I'm pretty sure Ashes is gonna go on tap target. Like, let's not kid ourselves. It's gonna go to tap target. Maybe a little bit like a cooler tap target, but I think they actually nailed it with the combat. It's more action. It's super skill based, dude.
So what I was gonna say is a month ago when I did the alpha test, the combat did not feel good to me. I don't know what they changed. I don't know. Like, it doesn't seem like they changed that much. It just feels way more fluid suddenly. What
it felt very clunky back then, and very like I do a thing and stop.
A big thing that changed this time is that because the cooldowns used to be shared between weapons. So if you did your Q with the spear and then you changed to a musket, your Q would still be on cooldown. They changed that actually right now, and they're independent. And also your weapon swapping is a little bit faster than last time. So that might have made it a little bit more. So,
but I'm also talking about a month ago's alpha, not last year's, not the preview. Okay. So yeah, Fanged and I were in that month ago alpha, and they still had made things faster. There was no stagger. The weapon changing was more fluid.
Stagger is a big thing.
And there's something they did, and I can't put my mind, like I cannot put my finger on it, what they did, but it just feels better. It feels more fluid. And I haven't done like basically any PvP yet, but I have done the expedition, and I don't want to ruin it for anyone. I will just say I had so much, like, it hasn't been since the first alpha Ashes weekend, but there was before the NDA, that I've had so much fun. That expedition was so much fun, and before that, it's been years. So like,
I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
Yeah,
guys. So today I did actually a lot of PvP.
And don't
with my friends.
Yeah, and don't ruin it for yourself. Don't go in with someone who's already done it. And if they do go in with you, be like, let us figure it out for ourselves, because it was way more fun that way. We went in.
We're waiting for each other.
Yeah. Because we had a bunch of people that had done an expedition before us, and they're like, yeah, we'll come in if you want to, if you need help. We're like, no, we get it that you're the highest level, but no, we want to get in with this crew and get it done ourselves. And we had so much fun just kind of figuring out the little puzzle in there and fighting the boss and all of that stuff.
Nice. I'm excited now.
Yeah, it was cool. It was very cool.
I have a very basic request that I love in New World. And I feel like because it currently, and I don't know if that's going to change, but is currently not in Ashes, let me chop down whatever fucking tree I want.
It would be nice.
I'm not even kidding. Like, I understand. Like, I don't understand because I don't know coding. I don't know game development, but I understand like just wanting to have like, okay, just this tree has the sparkles on it. Only this one can be harvested or chopped down, whatever. But the thing about New World logging is that every tree, some you need to get to a certain level,
right?
But every tree, every dead log on the ground, at least that I've come across, can be harvested. That the basic gathering of New World, I think Ashes could.
Yeah, I have two things to say on that. First of all, we are in alpha, so we don't know what their intent is. Maybe every tree will have that. They have said there is not going to be sparklies in the world, right? We have sparklies right now to make it identifiable, but they have said where you're actually going to have to identify the gatherable and know what it looks like to gather it in Ashes. The other thing I have to say is I don't like the strain on the server with that. I don't know what that's going to do with every single object being interactable and destructible. I'm not a programmer either, but I would say like the sparklies, I think those are going to be going away for sure. Steven's already said that like outright.
Yeah, those won't exist. And it's going to be tough. And I think that, so I'm going to take the opposite side of Sooper here. I'm going to say I like the fact that only certain things in Ashes are harvestable, because there will be these like super rare node like gathering node type situations. And so if you could just harvest everything, I think it would inflate the gathering market and devalue a lot of it, especially compared to these super rare.
That can be controlled though.
Yeah, like just make the items like have more requirements on the.
I mean, we'll take it back to something that's. Yeah, we'll take it back to something Sooper understands. It's like Pokemon cards, right? You have all your bulk. It still has a small value, very minimal value, but it has some value. And then you have your rare shit. It's worth a lot. And that's kind of like.
But it's about the player experience in the side of it.
The rare Pokemon cards, for every X amount of bulk, you have to release a rare Pokemon card. So the more bulk there is, the more rares there are.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that that's fine, because it would honestly be boring to open up a pack of Pokemon cards that was only rares. Like if it was a pack of 2 cards, like the 25th anniversary celebrations packs that are coming out in a couple of months, there's only 4 cards in the pack. So down from the 10 that we normally get. And so yes, it's going to be cool because it's a one-off. They're not going to reprint those. It's going to, it's a super rare thing that's going to happen, but it's the anticipation. It's going through the commons and the uncommons and the trainers and then going, nothing. Oh, okay, cool. I got a hit.
Just speaking to the gambling and addicts and all of that.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Gambling targeted towards little kids, right?
Yeah. Which is better.
Which is why all the 30-plus-year-olds are doing it. Yes.
Exactly.
But what I was going to say, so we've talked about things that we think New World is doing pretty well. Things they're not doing well. One of my biggest gripes is resource spawns being in the same spot every time.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't done the math out to see if there's like a difference in how long it takes for something to respawn, if there's a variable there. But the fact that you know exactly where every single rare resource spawns feels kind of bad. Go ahead.
And that leads to botting, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to work today. I'm going on a jog. I'm going out with somebody. So I set up a macro that I press E every 10 minutes and 22 seconds, knowing that I'm going to just farm this resource to no end. And I think that's why not everything is going to be harvestable in Ashes, and the things will move around and not respawn in the exact same location.
Yes, but I feel like they have an anti-bot system on New World right now. Supposedly.
You can't even milk a cow without getting banned in that.
Right. And on Ashes, I don't see, I understand the point, but on Ashes, you're going to have 1 active GMs and 2, I'm going to PK those bots. I'm going to kill those bots, right?
Not if they're not flagged.
But you can.
You mean sorry.
Ashes.
I was thinking New World. Yeah, I was thinking New World.
Things will move around.
My bad.
New World,
because the bots
exist.
I mean, if they imagine everything would spawn at the same place on Ashes, it wouldn't matter because bots want their CM, want their PKs or bot killers or something. You can actually do a program about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the way that the trees and the gatherable are right now in Ashes of Creation needs a little bit of improvement.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good to need 30 logs and then have fucking 3 logs on an area, right? And having all these trees and only 3 being gatherable, it's kind of weird, For me, it's kind of weird. I feel like
the tree that ends up being gatherable looks exactly like the 50 others that you ran.
That's great. That's awesome. I love that. I think it's punishing.
Sure, I mean it's cool. It's punishing it. It forces you to work a little bit more, right? I think having every tree, for example, gatherable. It's a simple solution, just inflate the value, the needs of a crafting item, right?
Well, here's what I would like to see, and then straight to Star Wars Galaxies, where's Z? But where basically resources have qualities. To get a perfect resource is basically non-existent. Your chance of getting the absolute best resource basically doesn't happen. And you are basically out there, you're farming all this stuff, but a lot of it isn't usable. That's the real world, right? A lot of the stuff you're out there, grind. If you're mining, you're mining through all this different ore and stuff like that, and you're only getting a small portion of high quality usable stuff. And that's what I would like to see happen. And that way it's, well, if I just want to, grind out make a bunch of random shit and see what happens, then I can go with a lower tier resource. or there will be node, like maybe like kind of like how the town hall stuff works in New World, where it's just like, throw us a bunch of resources, we'll put it to some kind of use, you get a small benefit.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, and that's what I would like, because that's how Star Wars Galaxy did it. And so like if you found this resource, it was like 99% like quality, just like ultra high tier, it was worth so much. And it just spoke to that gambling aspect of you. You were just running around looking for that perfect resource. And when you made a piece of gear, it was all based on like all the different components, qualities that you put into it.